Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about international efforts to protect the environment from pollution, and we are mainly going to discuss about three topics, that is Stockholm Declaration, Rio Declaration and the UN Convention. So environment pollution has become a global issue. Protection and preservation of global environment was felt absolutely essential for leading a sound and healthy life by the entire people of the whole world. So intentional efforts have been started with convening of the Stockholm Conference on Human Environment in 1972. Stockholm Declaration 1972. The Economic and Social Council of United Nations. The Economic and Social Council of United Nations passed a resolution on 30th July 1968 for convening an international conference on the problems of human environment. In pursuance of this, the United Nations Conference on Human Environment was held at Stockholm in 1972. Including India, 113 countries participated in the conference. India was represented by Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi. A declaration under the head The Magna Carta of Our Environment. The Magna Carta of Our Environment was adopted in the conference. This is known as Stockholm Declaration of 1972. The conference emphasized that man's capability to transform his surrounding must be wisely used. Wrong and heedless use can do incalculable harm to human beings and human environment. The conference suggested that the developing countries must direct their efforts towards balancing their priorities with the need to check the increasing pollution. The conference identified the areas and laid down the principles on which the nation should take up and enact laws for protecting and improving the environment. Some of the main principles adopted in the conference for the protection and improvement of the environment are given below. That is, the first one, man has the fundamental right to freedom, equality, and adequate conditions of life in an environment of quality. The second, man has a solemn responsibility to protect and improve the environment for present and future generations. The third one, the natural resources of the earth, including air, water, land, flora, and fauna, etc., must be safeguarded for the benefit of present and future generations through careful planning or management. The fourth one, the capacity of the earth to produce vital resources must be maintained and restored. The fifth one, man has special responsibility to safeguard and wisely manage the heritage of wildlife and its habitat. The sixth one, conservation, including wildlife, must receive importance in planning for economic development. The seventh one, the discharge of toxic substances and the release of heat in such quantities as to exceed the capacity of the environment must be halted. The eighth one, the just struggle of the peoples of all countries against pollution should be supported. The ninth one, state shall take all possible steps to prevent pollution of the seas. The tenth one, economic and social development is essential for ensuring a favorable living and working environment for man. The 11th one, resources should be made available to protect and improve environment. The 12th, education in environmental matters for the young generation as well as adults is essential for improving and protecting the environment. The 13th, scientific research in the context of environmental problems must be promoted in all countries, especially in developing countries. 14. States have the sovereign right to exploit their own resources pursuant to their own environmental policies. 15. States have the responsibility to ensure that activities within their jurisdiction or control do not cause damage to the environment of other states. 16. States must strive to reach prompt agreement on elimination and complete destruction of nuclear weapons and all other means of mass destruction. The recommendations of the Stockholm Declaration drew the attention of the members of states towards environmental pollution and protection and improvement of environment. The United Nations Environmental Programme (UNEP), United Nations Environmental Programme, was set up in Geneva in 1973 to make every effort for the successful implementation of Stockholm Declaration. Several countries in the world enacted legislations for protection and improvement of the environment in pursuance of Stockholm Declaration. In India, more than 200 central and state legislations on environment have been enacted. The Stockholm Declaration could exercise some impact on the Indian judiciary also in settling environmental issues. The Supreme Court of India and High Courts have given liberal interpretation to the constitutional provisions with a view to give more protection to environment and to prevent environmental pollution. Rio Declaration on Environment and Development 1992. In 1992, an international conference on environment was held at Rio de Janeiro, the capital of Brazil. Rio Declaration on Environment and Development is also known as Earth Summit or Rio Summit of 1992. It is the largest convention in the history of international relations. Nearly 20,000 delegates from 178 countries attended the conference, and hence it is called Earth Summit. The Rio Summit reaffirmed the Stockholm Declaration. Following are some of the main features of Rio Declaration. The first one, human beings are entitled to healthy and productive life in harmony with nature. 2. The states must ensure that their developmental activities and environmental policies shall not cause damage beyond their national jurisdiction. 3rd, all states shall cooperate for eradicating poverty, for sustainable development, and to promote standard of living. The 4th, states shall cooperate in a spirit of global partnership to conserve, protect, and restore the health and integrity of Earth's ecosystem. The 5th, states shall enact effective environmental legislations and shall maintain environmental standards. 6th, in order to protect the environment, the precautionary approach shall widely be applied by the state. 7th, the states shall resolve all their environmental disputes peacefully in accordance with the Charter of UN. The UN Convention of 1985. In 1985, the United Nations convened a convention to prevent ozone depletion. Ozone depletion is a serious threat to existence and survival of human race. It has become a global problem of the present day. In the atmosphere around the Earth, at about 16 to 60 kilometers above the Earth's surface, ozone gas forms a layer around the Earth. The outer covering of the atmosphere containing the ozone gas is called ozone layer. This ozone layer protects all inhabitants and vegetation on the Earth from dangerous ultraviolet solar radiation, which is powerful enough to damage living cells. It may cause sunburns and skin diseases like skin cancer. The emission of noxious substances like chlorofluorocarbon or CFCs, as commonly known, and nitrous oxides by industrial units destroy the atmospheric ozone layer and causes the creation of holes in the protective covering of the Earth. The scientists found that chlorofluorocarbons emitted into the atmosphere from refrigeration and air conditioning system also cause serious damage to the ozone layer. Rapid growth of population, industrialization, and urbanization are instrumental for environmental pollution, which would reduce the width of the ozone layer. The decrease in the width of the ozone layer is called ozone depletion. In 1985, a convention for the protection of ozone layer was held under the auspices of United Nations. This convention provided for scientific research and periodical conferences to find out various measures to protect the ozone layer. The member states are directed to make appropriate legislations to protect the ozone layer. In pursuance of those efforts, Australia has enacted a law in 1994 eliminating the use of chlorofluorocarbon. India has not yet enacted any such law. However, the UN Convention of 1985 could bring the attention of all the countries throughout the world towards the dangers which may arise on account of ozone depletion. Consequently, serious scientific research are being conducted in many of the countries to prevent ozone depletion. So that is with this section. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell icon so that you get a notification when I upload my next video or a podcast. Once again, thank you and have a nice day.